This is my gas forge I'm using to melt some aluminum. I have aluminum cans as well as some aluminum car parts from some recent vehicle maintenance. I'm melting the cans first to get a pool of aluminum in the bottom of the crucible, and then I'll remove the lid, remove the slag from the melted aluminum, and then I'll add the car parts. This will help them melt more quickly even with the lid being removed from the forge here. My long-term goal is to make a set of metal chest pieces from this molten aluminum. I do have a video coming soon of my first attempt at casting one of the pieces, and I discover some problems in that mold making process. But coming back to here, I have a car part that I'm placing into the molten aluminum now, and this is going to melt a little bit more slowly than the cans, but since there is that pool of aluminum, it does melt fairly quickly. And then when we get to the last car part, you'll see how much quicker that goes being placed directly into the molten aluminum. Now moving to the second part, I'm placing it into the molten aluminum. You can see I have quite a bit in the crucible so far, and then I'm lightly pressing down with the tongs. This is because before the aluminum even fully melts, it becomes very, very soft and is easily pressed down into the crucible, which will then help the whole part melt much more quickly. After this, I'm going to remove the slag and then go for a pour into some graphite molds that I have. I actually did make a bit of a mistake here though. I had left the molds out for quite a bit outside, and this is later in the day, which caused some dew to build up in the first mold. And you can see here that I'm removing it now, and as I go to pour into the mold, there's a bit of metal that shoots up from the water boiling off. And that's why it's super important I always wear protective equipment when working with molten metal of any kind. And then here's the final product.